JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon has issued a warning on the overall economy, suggesting we could see something even worse than a recession. We'll have all the details and the full breakdown in here in this video as far as what Jamie Dimon is saying and why we definitely want to avoid this, as this would whack the economy even way worse than a recession. Let's get into it and talk through the details. First off, can I ask a huge favor of you? Please make sure to like the video with the big thumbs up button right down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Also, please subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so, with the big subscribe button right down below. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and let's talk through the details. All right, so JPMorgan, by the way, is the largest bank in the world with $3.4 trillion basically under management. That's a lot of money. 3.4 trillion, the largest bank out there. So yeah, when Jamie Dimon comes out and speaks, obviously we probably want to listen. He probably has a pretty good insight on what is really going on globally as well as domestically. And he's throwing a word out there that many people probably don't realize and know what it actually means. But again, I will identify actually what that word is, the definition behind it, and then I'll explain exactly why we want to avoid this. But he's also suggesting there's about a 35% chance of this happening, and it's not a recession. It is stagflation. Stagflation? What is that? Well, let me tell you really quickly. It's a mixture between the words of stagnation, which means nothing, sitting around, doing nothing, just bumming, you know what I mean? Like stagnant, stagflation, or stagnation, right? Kind of just doing nothing, right? That's stagnation. And then inflation is the other part of the word, which I think we all have a pretty good idea of what inflation is these days. I don't think I need to explain that one to you. We all have a firsthand lesson on inflation, especially over the last few years here. You know what that one is, right? So anyway, stagflation is the mixture of these two. Stagnation in the economy, in other words, the economy is doing nothing, the economy is not growing, it's kind of just contracting, it's just not doing anything at all, it's just kind of like sitting there, just kind of buzzing along, not doing a whole lot of growth or anything. Meanwhile, unemployment and inflation is rising. That is stagflation, okay? Well, like I said, Jamie Dimon is suggesting there's about a 35% chance of this happening, which would be really bad. Imagine that. An economy where we're seeing no growth. The economy is just bumming around, doing a whole lot of nothing. It's like the teenage kid, you're trying to get out of bed in the morning, it's 10 a.m., and you're like, dude, get up. 10 o'clock, the day is half over already, right? The economy is like that, right? So that's kind of the situation here. And then meanwhile, we have rising unemployment and rising inflation. Now, we kind of have a situation right now where the economy definitely is slowing down. In fact, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know I've been bringing all the data points. The economy definitely is slowing. What is going up right now? Unemployment is going up. The last several unemployment reports, the non-farm payroll numbers that we've received, we continue to see unemployment is definitely rising. Now, is it going up to the moon? Nope, it's not. But unemployment definitely is rising right now. Are we seeing inflation rising as well? Right now, we are in a trend where inflation, according to what they're telling us and according to the CPI numbers that we get once per month, are actually showing that inflation is coming down a little bit. But here's the thing. It wouldn't take that much for inflation to shoot higher again, okay? If we go into an economic contraction where the economy contracts enough, guess what happens? They print money. They call it QE, quantitative easing, or they give it some other fancy name. But basically what that is, it's a fancy, sophisticated, smart way of saying, hey, we're going to print a bunch of money now. That's literally what that is, okay? So when we see another economic contraction, they will print more money. They do it every single time. Well, guess what? When they print money, that means more money supply in the marketplace, chasing the limited amount of goods and services, and that causes inflation, okay? We all know what this means. You've heard me talk about it 1,000 times before in other videos. It's the same situation, okay? So we're kind of in that situation where we're getting kind of close to a stagflation situation where the economy is definitely slowing. It's not, completely bumming around yet, but it's getting pretty close. Unemployment is rising, and inflation is still kind of slowly dropping, but it would not take much whatsoever to really ramp up inflation yet again, and it's probably going to happen. To be 100% real with you, when we see the economy slow down and they start printing money again, we will see inflation yet again. But they'll have to thread the needle on that thing, because if they print too much money too quickly, it's going to cause a lot of inflation really rapidly. But if they thread the needle and they print a little bit of money and they don't print too much too fast, well, then the inflation that we're going to see might be minimal, slash it's probably not going to be as aggressive as quickly. So they really need to thread the needle on that, and we'll see if they can do it, right? But this is the situation that we're dealing with right now. So stagflation, bad situation. Now, a recession, that's, kind of a similar thing to stagflation, but at the end of the day, everything is going down, everything's getting whacked. When a recession comes in, it's not a good situation at all. But regardless of a recession or stagflation, basically what happens is that you're going to see prices come down on a lot of things, stock market included, real estate included, everything included. You're going to see prices coming down, right? That's just what happens during a recession or a stagflation time frame, right? So, for what I should say with the economy anyway, prices on everything, not necessarily in a stagflation situation. We wouldn't necessarily see prices coming down on everything, but a recession, we probably would. So either way, no matter what happens here, whether it's stagflation or a recession, we're likely going to see not kind of a good situation with the overall economy, right? But it's kind of a situation we kind of need to get through because we're in this situation right now. We're kind of in this holding pattern. Is this holding pattern great? Depends on who you ask. Not really, right? So the finances of people have been decimated over the last couple of years. Nobody has any money. We're floating balances on credit cards. We're racking up national debt. We're racking up personal debt. Not a good situation. It's just bad overall. Something's got to give, right? I think that's probably pretty ubiquitous across many of us where we're agreeing something's got to give here. What is it? I don't know, but something's got to give. Something has to give here. We can't keep living like this forever. It's just not sustainable for a very long time. So anyway, I want to share this with you. Now, really quickly as well, there was also a study that was conducted. People are assuming over the next 1 year, according to this study here, that people are suggesting their expenses are going to increase by about 5%. Their cost of living, their expenses, their expenditures are going to increase by about 5%. Meanwhile, the vast majority of people surveyed here believe that their income will increase by 1/10%. So figure that one out. Yeah, the numbers don't work, okay? You don't need to be a mathematician to figure out that, hey, expenses have gone up 5% and incomes have gone up 1/10%. Nope, doesn't work, right? Yeah, it doesn't. You don't need to have like a graphing calculator. You don't need to have one of those really big fancy calculators to figure that one out. You can just have a basic, no calculator whatsoever to figure out that math does not work. So that's the scenario right now. So you can see a lot of people not very optimistic about the overall economy and this next year here, but we will see what happens. So I'll keep you posted, but I want to bring this to your attention here, and obviously we don't know what's going to happen yet. Only time will tell. I've been saying that for a long time, but realistically, that is what we can do. We just have to literally wait. We can speculate all we want, but until we get the time that comes that says, uh-oh, look, here we go, falling into a recession, look out below, and that's going to be the situation. Or, uh-oh, even worse, we've got a stagflation situation, and now we got to handle this. So something's going to happen. We just don't know what that's going to be yet or how bad it's really going to get. So either way, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Again, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Like the video. Thumbs up button down below. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Otherwise, check out the other videos here on the channel, the 5,000 videos in the video library. The ones I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Some really good and popular videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, right now showing up on your screen, you'll see some videos there. Thank you so much. Take your selection now. Have a nice day. Have a good one.